This time, I would like to introduce the Honorable Joe Pickett. Representative Pickett is currently serving the people of El Paso in his 9th term as a member of the Texas House of Representatives. He also currently serves as the chairman of the House Committee on Defense and Veteran Affairs. Joe Pickett began a political career as a city council member of El Paso, appointed to serve in the Central Appraisals District Board for El Paso, and he's first elected to the Texas House of Representatives in 1994. During the last legislative session, Representative Pickett supported many bills to help veterans in the state of Texas. In one of them, Senate Bill 1739, which helped preserve and protect the fund veteran assistance by restricting its use solely to help services for veterans. Representative Pickett.
Good morning. I know Captain Morgan got one of those. I like Captain Morgan. I only know of Captain Morgan, the kind that you drink, that rum. And at this time of the morning, it's always good. It's also nice to hear some of the other speakers. I came in right as the chief was finishing up when he made that promise to you all. If you needed some help, call. Well, I was trying to find a parking space, and so I called Chief Acevedo. And they sent a PD tow truck out here, and they towed the wrong car. They towed my car. So I'm going to have to call him back. You had Senator Williams. Senator Williams and I work really, really well together. Tommy started out in the House, so those of us in the House always like a senator who's been housebroken. It makes it a lot easier in the future. I always wondered about a bicameral form of government in Texas anyway. I always tell everyone I file a bill every session to get away with get rid of and do away with the Senate. It passes the House overwhelmingly, but we never can get a hearing on the Senate side. I'm going to tell you, this last session, I've been a part of 9 regular sessions and 7 special sessions since I started my political career in the legislature, and it's getting a little tougher and a little tougher. The money this last session was really, really, really hard to come by, and so it's real unusual for the outcomes that the Veterans Commission and related services had this last session. And some of the reasons are persons like Senator Williams, Senator Van de Putte, who is one of the staunchest supporters of veteran issues in the state of Texas, who will be here just a little bit later. And you're also going to have one of my closest friends up here not too long either. Is a gentleman's name is Jim Pitts. He's the chairman of House Appropriations. And it's an important role for him to play, and especially with the budget shortfall. I will tell you this last session, the only thing that both sides had in common this last session is all of us got up every morning and said the Pledge of Allegiance and supported veterans. And I think in the 83rd legislative session, I know you're going to have some breakout sessions, I can just about guarantee that that'll be the same thing. We're going to get up every morning, say the Pledge of Allegiance, and support veterans. I believe that is the case. I've been in the legislature for a while, and I haven't seen this kind of support in the last several years. It's been growing, it's been growing, it's been growing. The public themselves knows that there are exceptions. I get grilled all the time, ever since the lottery was created. What are you doing with all that money? Well, it's going 100% to education. Now I've got to change it up just a little bit. It's all going to education, except we have a special scratch-off ticket where the proceeds go to the Veterans Commission. And if you want to support veterans, buy that ticket. Now, you heard Mr. Wilson say 23 cents on the dollar, and a couple people trying to figure out where's the rest of it go. Well, I have a slush fund. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The largest portion of those dollars, like anything else, the only reason a lot of people buy those tickets is the hope of winning. But there's something else this last session with your help. If that really is, and it is the case, 23 cents out of every dollar goes to the Veterans Commission, then why not try to get all your friends and relatives and loved ones to just donate $1 on their registration? The whole thing, 100%, will go to the Veterans Commission, a whole buck. Now, we're going to start a little thing in my community. My tax assessor collector happens to be a very proud Vietnam veteran. You're going to see some larger than normal signs put up in those tax offices in El Paso, and we hope to really promote the heck out of that $1, $2, or whatever you want to add onto your registration. And there's no reason why we can't help educate some of the people who are involved with this on a daily basis. I haven't gotten as many thank you letters and changing names of babies to Joe lately. But those of you who drive a brand new car or 2-year-old car, your registration just went down $8. $8. So why not just at the counter, ma'am, sir, your registration went down $8 because of what the legislature passed and went into effect last September 1st of 2011. Would you like to donate that amount to the Veterans Commission? I think we could come up with a pretty good program on doing some of those things. I have a lot of latitude as what I do during the interim as a chairman. The speaker has put out some certain requests or certain things that he has asked us to take a look at, and they're pretty broad, they're pretty general, and I wanted them that way. I wanted them that way so that I could react to what's happening out there, and there's always this underlying caveat in what we chairmen are able to do. We can look at whatever the hell we want to look at during an interim session. So what am I going to look at? What do you want us to study? What do you want us to ask the questions about between now and the second Tuesday of January 2013? That's what we're going to cover over this interim. What's caused some consternation for us, as you've heard in some of the papers out there, there's this little thing called redistricting going on that hasn't been settled. And unfortunately, it does have an impact on everything that we do. I was trying to already put a calendar together for some of the interim hearings, but because we don't even know when the primary election is going to be, it's been a little difficult. I do plan on having a first hearing in first week of March. I'm going to travel around the state. I'm taking my committee to visit different facilities, and being from El Paso, and this is always fun, the turf-orientedness. We can, get into contests about who has the best, the highest, the most, the smartest. Oh, by the way, Chief Acevedo, I come from the safest city in the United States. It's a fact. El Paso, Texas, safest city in the United States. Anyway, it is. I know we live on the border. People hear about all the violence, but we are the safest city in the United States and have been for 4 years running. The committee that I have the pleasure and the honor of chairing has very, very dedicated members. The members themselves are either veterans or they have loved ones or family who are currently serving, so it makes a big difference when these issues come before our committee and you have people who understand very closely what the effect that this stuff has. We have bean counters too. There's a lot of things that do cost money. I want to go back and I want to do some tweaks to the surviving spouse legislation. I'd like to make it retroactive to January 1st, 2010 when we pass the first legislation regarding the disabled veterans themselves. There's some misconfusion out there, and I've received just probably dozens and dozens of calls. Unfortunately, a person had become a widow or widower right before January 1st of this year, and they're not affected by it. So we need to take care of those things and make sure that's one of the first things that we do in the next legislative session. I look forward to the next legislative session. I'm so glad to see so many people here are taking care of our veterans' needs. It's growing, as you all know, with the global war on terrorism. In 2007, the average age of a veteran, taking all into consideration, those still living from World War I up to the present time, was 60 years old in 2007, and that number is going down. Our veterans are becoming younger and younger, and those who precede them, like yourselves, are the ones that are paving the way for them and offering these kind of benefits and acknowledgement that you are so much entitled to. Again, thank you. I look forward to the 88th legislative session when we say the pledge and support veterans.